Holy fucking shit. Those maniacs, they blew it up. They went and blew it up and gave us one hell of a ban list. Hello, everybody. In case you've been living under a rock, the ban list is fucking here. Everyone's sick of this format. They're sick of Sword Soul, even though it's new, so they shouldn't really kill it. They're sick of Tri-Brigade. They're sick of Lyriclist, sick of this, sick of that. It is time to take this sick dog out to die. Also, I apologize for anyone who's been waiting for this week's Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's video. I'm sorry, I got caught up with some stuff, but I will get to that as soon as I can. But for right now, this list, holy fucking shit, this list. There is a lot to talk about, so we're going to talk about it. We're going to start off with what's banned and make our way down, because they decided, no, we're just going to get crazier as we go. But first up, to the surprise of no one, ARCHNEMESES PROTOS. This is a good way to indirectly hit Sword Soul, because you had to do something, but you can't really go after the actual deck because it is just way too new. So I think this is a nice, good way to start. Alternatively, people thought you could hit the 10Es, but people like 10E as a deck, so I feel like that would have been wrong for them. This is a good way to get rid of a card that I think no one liked from the minute it showed up. Speaking of cards that no one liked from the minute they show up, Ava is banned. Yes! Why didn't you do this last time? Why was this thing allowed to live? Like, seriously, putting it to 1 did nothing. Most decks played 1. It's time for it to go. A lot of people still want Drytron to seriously get hit. I feel like it did fall off a little bit with just the way the power level increased of the last format. Hard to tell where it will go from here, but, like, this card only pops up when it's being used in degenerate bullshit, so in that point, time to go. Max C is still banned. Haha, take that, Max C lovers, which are going down because thanks to Master Duel, everyone now realizes the bullshit of Max C. Also, I haven't played Master Duel yet, before anyone asks. Also for banned, Simorg, Bird of Sovereignty. I'm hearing mixed things. People felt that there was other stuff in the Bird engine you should hit over this. Having said that, I'm a personal believer that cards that get you stuff that summon from deck are not a healthy idea for the game, especially when you're as easy to summon as Lynx. So even if there was other stuff you could have hit over this, you'd have to probably go after this eventually, and I feel like they just decided to nip this shit in the butt now, while they're still probably trying to make money off the Lyriclist package, because it's you're seeing Synchro Storm still in stores everywhere. Next, we have the band that truly hurts my heart, and that is Imperial Order. I played this card in Virtual World, and it was fucking disgusting, and unbanning this was an awful idea. Nothing you do will ever make this card okay. Like, why did they unban it in the first place? Fuck erratas, let shit stay banned. Y'all did this to yourselves. Okay, moving on to Limited. And for Limited, immediately we have something that makes my nipples hard. We have ASTROGRAPH Sorcerer. They finally did it. They put him at 1. Electromite is still banned, so yeah, there's no reason to keep this guy banned. He is a powerful card. You can do a lot of powerful shit with him. No one will ever take that away from it. But the reality is that what made it too much was Electromite. Prior to Electromite, a lot of people didn't even really love playing this card in the deck. It's still good. It helps the deck out a lot, but as we're seeing in Master Duel, like, it doesn't make the deck degenerate having access to this card. There's a couple other things on here that feel a little pro Master Duel. I don't know if this is Konami trying to get more Master Duel people into the real game. Probably. But also I do feel like that as school of thought from how things are done in the OCG makes their way here thanks to Master Duel, I think you will see some of that influence the two formats from now on. So next we have, coming to 1, Destrudo the Lost Dragons Frizen. I don't know what Frizen means, but I do know that I don't like this. I don't like this card. This has never been an okay card for the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's just one of those powerful cards that just does way too much shit, and I kind of feel like bringing it back is a very bad idea. A lot of people are already saying you can do some dumb shit with it in Virtual World. There are several decks that can abuse this thing, and I just kind of feel like this is going to cause a lot more problems than people are realizing, but that's just me. Also coming back to one, Fairy Tale Snow. Oh god, I remember this furry piece of shit. I hate this card. It screwed me over so many times when it was popular. Rather it was because Light Sworns were popular at the time, rather it's because of that Grass Looks Greener. Now granted, those two decks, Grass Looks Greener is obviously still banned, and Light Sworns don't really do anything. So there's nothing inherently that can abuse it as badly as it once was, but I got my eye on you, you weird furry piece of shit. I have a bad feeling about where things are going to go with you. LUNALIGHT Tiger is at 1. No one's really doing anything with this package. Maybe people might find Tri-Brigade stuff with it to do. But, the other things that made this card ban-worthy have been hit, and those combos aren't what they once were. So this is another one that I think we should keep our eye on, but upon first glance, I'm kind of like, it's probably fine. It won't be fine. Everything's going to go horribly wrong. Next to 1, another Tri-Brigade Lyriclus hit. Lyriclus Rectal Starling. I said that really wrong. Recital Starling. Oh boy, this thing. Why this? Why not the Tri-Brigade engine? Why are you hitting the new things? Was this a new card? I don't remember. It's not important. My point is that it's kind of weird what they've picked to hit. I don't know why Tri-Brigade gets to go all free, but, this is a very powerful card, so putting it to 1 probably makes sense. Just other stuff I'd rather hit to deal with Bird Up instead, though. Monster Gate went from 3 to 1. This is one of those BS cards that people kind of do a lot of shit they shouldn't be allowed to do with it, including comboing with things like Destrudo and Fairy Tale Snow. A little random, but yeah, makes sense. So next we get what is probably one of the most controversial things on this list, and that is Pot of Desires went from 3 all the way down to 1. Now, for those of you who don't know, this has been one of the most controversial cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Since it came out. Some say the Banished 10 is too much, some say it doesn't matter at all. I have always used this card, usually at 2. I've always had this weird thing about playing it at 3. But in the grand scheme of things, this is probably for the best. For the decks that can abuse this card, it is stuff like My Virtual World and things that play all 3 of, so therefore it doesn't really matter if they lose 1 or 2 things, because this thing will just let you win anyways. And at 1, you've got to draw it, and it becomes harder to plan. With that being said, if this thing gets banned next list or the list after, don't be too shocked. We'll have to see where things go with this card. So next we have going to 2. There's a lot of shit here. Oh, Jesus. There was a lot of crap that went to 2 on this list. Malicious, my boy, is still sitting there. He will be there for all eternity. But more hero cards joined him. First up, A Hero Lives came to 2. This might actually be a big deal. It might not seem like it at first. We're like, oh, putting stuff to 2 doesn't matter, but A Hero Lives can be such a powerhouse defining card. Heroes are already basically tier 2 at this point, so it's not crazy to see that heroes could see a big uptick. Having access to a free summon in a deck that has one of the just most consistently good combo plays in the game, I think is a pretty big deal. Like, there is a lot that A Hero Lives can get you, rather it's a Stratos to search out your Ferris, or Shadow Mist to get you a Mask Change. Like, this thing at 2 is a big deal for hero players, and I kind of feel like you could see things shift for hero strategies that isn't just DPE spamming. Speaking of which, Fusion Destiny went to 2. I mean, look, I'm sure everyone's gonna be like, oh, that does nothing, you still have 2 copies. But that's a big deal. Like, they don't normally hit an engine this fucking new. Like, remember, it's not all that long ago that Burst of Destiny came out. Usually they just ignore that stuff till they're done being able to sell the card, which could have been not until, like, the frickin' Megatins. But no, they immediately did a slap on the wrist. And I mean, look, one of the things about the DPE engine is that you can play 3 Fusion Destiny and your main deck monsters don't always have to be dead and that kind of thing. So seeing this card go to 2 right off the bat like this, it's kind of a big deal. And I think something that to keep in mind going forward as we see DP continue to be the best card in Yu-Gi-Oh! Then we have Nadir Servant. Full disclosure, no one at my local plays Dogmatica. And to be honest, like, because of the way just the world is, I try not to focus on things outside of my own personal part of the Yu-Gi-Oh! World. But, yeah, this card is degenerate and annoying, and I think it's better that it starts going to 2. I actually have it in front of me. Maybe this should go to 1. It's kind of a little much. Next, this is also kind of a big deal and pretty exciting. Salamangreat Circle went from 1 to 2. Go Salad! We actually did see Salad managed a few rogue tops over the format, so the deck has the ability to perform, and if they're just going to slowly give it its tools back, like, that's pretty good. Like, go Salad, players. Like, even if you found it annoying going up against this deck when it was tier 1, which, yeah, it could be annoying to play against this deck, it's one of those decks where it's just the budget hero's dream, and you kind of can't help but root for it. So then going to 2, we have Scapegoat. I think this is a bad idea. Getting 4 tokens is not good. We spent all this time trying to hit tokens. Why is one of the best token generators getting like 2 copies? I don't like this. I don't like it. And we're like, oh, well, no one really played it at 1. This is the kind of card going from 1 to 2 is a very big deal. And what you can kind of do with this thing and the flexibility and it being a quick play, like, this is a very powerful card, and I kind of feel like you'll see people use it in very degenerate ways. So then coming to 3, this is kind of fucking crazy, like what they unbanned. Let's go with it. First up, Danger Nessie to 3. Look, I've literally had people been telling me all day, Danger Nessie is the one you can put at 3. It's not as bad as the others. That is probably true. I do not fucking trust any danger cards on the list coming off. This archetype was a mistake. Don't make us relive the mistake. It's probably okay, because nothing's really abusing the danger package right now, but I got my eye on you, Nessie. Got my eye on you. Then we have another pendulum freeing of the list. Performer Pal Skull Crobat Joker. Welcome back, my friend. You're at 3. Our Stratos has returned. Weird, they both have 1800 attack. Strange. Anyways, this card coming back to 3 is actually really good. This and the Astrograph give Pendulum access to a lot of different plays and combos and strategies. Again, the deck will never be like super strong if it doesn't have Electromite, but just having access to things like just searching whatever combo pieces you need, having another monster to put a body on board, or another search. It's all just these little things that make one of my favorite decks more playable, so I'm quite happy about that. Then we have E-Telly going to 3. Virtual World got a pretty big bump this list. It might not seem it, because that was a deck that liked 3 Desires, but E-Telly at 3 is a big deal. Being one of the top, being maybe the only top tier deck that really didn't get a power level hit is a big deal. Like, I think that the deck has a lot to go for, and E-Telly at 3, like, really helps it. On top of that, there are lots of decks that like psychic type things in it, so therefore having access to 3 of, like, arguably the best spell card in Psychic's arsenal is, I think, going to prove to be a big deal. I know I said that a lot. Will we see this card back on the list again? I kind of have a feeling this will be one of those cards where sometimes it'll be okay, sometimes it won't. But for now, I am excited to play with 3 E-Telly. Then we have RAIGEKI to 3. What does that say about the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! That 3 RAIGEKI is probably not going to amount to much? Some people actually liked playing 1 RAIGEKI. Especially like with considering we were in a break your board format and Lightning Storm has restrictions. So maybe you could see this show up in the side deck just because at 3 it's got consistency to it. But yeah, we've reached the point where what was considered to be one of the most powerful cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is at 3 and nobody cares. And then last but not least, I care about this. This is probably a bad idea. Skill Drain went from 1 to 3. If I'm correct, this and there was 1 or 2 others, is a card that's at 3 of in Master Duel. But people don't like this in Master Duel. Skill Drain is so powerful. If used correctly and triggered at the right time, it is a blowout. Even at 1 of, it can be a big blowout. So to see it come to 3, where now it can be consistently relied on, like I just said with RAIGEKI, that has the potential to be a very big game changer. And we're gonna need to keep an eye on this because, well, using my virtual world example as again, my current build summons Crystal Wing, Shenshin, and Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. Those are pretty big monsters. Even with no effects, they will kill you the next turn if you can't do anything. So 3 skill drain, I think, is a little too much. But what did you think about this ban list? Tell me in the comments section below, cause oh my Jesus fucking Christ, there is a lot here to digest. Like, this is huge. Like, even if stuff like Sword Soul and Eldritch got a huge bump. Like, they are a tier 1 deck now. Like, even if, like, a lot of the big stuff still has its place and is functional, there's so many new things in the game now from this, and so much stuff has been affected because of this list, that even if we do ultimately still end up in Sword Soul format, which I think we will be, you have so much access to crazy shit that it does kind of give the game the fresh feeling I think people have wanted for the past several months. Which is a shame then, because we don't know when we'll get in-person events again after Pasadena getting canceled. But yeah, no, in the comment section below, give me your thoughts about this list. I'm really curious to see what everyone's going to do. Also, I'm going to try to get better about responding to comments. I read everything. I'm just really bad about remembering to respond. But tell me what you think about this in the comment section below. And as always, click to like, click to subscribe, and join me for a new day in the world of Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh wait, I somehow missed. Red Eye's Darkness Metal Dragon went to 3. I wonder why they did that. Wait, did this thing get an errata? Fucking errata Darkness Metal Dragon? Oh, fuck everything!